You can feel the weight of their words, like iron chains tightening around your chest. Their laughter, their false kindness, it haunts you, endless and inescapable. They knew, they always knew. They knew they were tearing you apart, piece by piece, and yet they never paused. Their hands dug deeper into your soul, their eyes gleaming with satisfaction as they watched the life drain from yours. And still, they kept going. You begged for mercy, for understanding, for the pain to stop. But to them, your suffering was a symphony, a melody that they were all too eager to conduct. Every tear, every scream, only fueled their sadistic pleasure. But they didn't know. They didn't know what was growing inside you. Beneath the layers of pain and misery, something was stirring. Something dark, something dangerous. They believed they were breaking you, but the truth was far more terrifying. They were building you. The agony they unleashed, the nightmares they wove into your skin, would become your weapon. Your pain would be their undoing. You trusted them. You trusted their smiles, their empty promises, their hollow words. How could you have been so blind? You believed the lies, wrapped yourself in the false comfort of their friendship, their love. But it was all a facade. Every kind gesture was poisoned, every sweet word laced with venom. They were never on your side. They were always waiting for the moment when you would stumble, when you would fall. And when that moment came, they didn't hesitate. They pounced, like wolves tearing into the flesh of a wounded prey. They wanted to see you suffer. They wanted to watch you break. They fed off your despair, nurtured themselves on your pain. It made them feel powerful, invincible, like gods playing with the fragile lives beneath them. And still, you believed in them. Even as they twisted the knife, you searched for a reason, an explanation, something to make it all make sense. But there was no sense, no logic, only cruelty, and they reveled in it. Their cruelty wasn't accidental. It was calculated, precise, like an artist perfecting their masterpiece. And you were their canvas, bruised, torn, shattered. They painted your agony in vivid strokes, delighting in every new wound they inflicted. They knew you were hurting, and yet they kept going, pushing you further into the abyss, as if your suffering was a prize they could never tire of. But what they didn't know, what they could never understand, was that you were not just falling into the darkness. You were becoming it. The betrayal hit like a tidal wave, drowning you in sorrow, anger, and confusion. But as the storm raged inside, something else began to grow. Something cold. Something fierce. At first it was a whisper, a faint echo in the back of your mind. But soon it became a roar. An unrelenting, unstoppable force. The sadness faded, replaced by something far more dangerous. Rage. The rage consumed you, filled every crevice of your being. It was pure, burning, unyielding. It fueled you, gave you strength when you had none. You could feel it coursing through your veins, transforming you from the inside out. No longer were you the victim. No longer were you the prey. They wanted to break you. They wanted to watch you crumble under the weight of their cruelty. But every blow, every wound, every scar only made you stronger. The pain didn't weaken you. It sharpened you. It became your armor, your weapon. Every tear you shed, every scream you released, it was all feeding the fire inside you. And now that fire was ready to burn, to consume everything in its path. You were no longer the person they thought they could manipulate, hurt, destroy. You had become something more, something they would soon come to fear. The darkness inside you had finally taken form. You could feel its weight, its strength, pulsing through your body. Every beat of your heart was fueled by vengeance. Every breath you took was filled with determination. You had become a force of nature, unstoppable, unrelenting. They thought they had broken you, but all they had done was awaken something far more dangerous. Now you were stronger than ever. You were no longer shackled by their lies, no longer bound by their cruelty. You were free. Free to seek revenge. Free to unleash the storm inside you. And so, you prepared. Every moment was spent honing your skills, sharpening your mind, your body, your soul. You embraced the darkness, let it guide you, mold you into the weapon you needed to become. You trained in the shadows, in silence, as the world around you continued to turn, oblivious to the transformation happening within. They would never see you coming. They would never expect the fury, the wrath, the vengeance that was about to be unleashed upon them. But they would learn. They would learn what happens when you try to destroy someone who refuses to be destroyed. The time had come. The moment you had been waiting for. The hunt was about to begin. And this time, you were the predator. You could feel the thrill of it, the chase, the pursuit. It fueled you, drove you forward with a single, unyielding purpose: revenge. They thought they could escape, thought they could hide behind their lies, their facades. But you knew them too well. You knew their every weakness, their every fear, and you would exploit them. You would drag them out of the shadows, out of the safety of their illusions, and into the harsh, unforgiving light of your wrath. You tracked them, relentlessly, methodically. You followed their every move, watched as they tried to live their lives as if nothing had happened. But you could see it in their eyes. The fear. They knew you were coming. They could feel it, like a cold hand gripping their hearts. And you were coming. Faster than they could run, closer than they could hide. They had nowhere to go, no one to turn to. You were their reckoning, their nightmare, and you would not stop until they had paid for every tear, every drop of blood, every ounce of pain they had caused. The world had changed, but you were the one who had changed the most. The storm had passed, but the scars remained. You were no longer the person you once were. The innocence, the hope, the light, it was all gone now, replaced by something far more powerful. You had become the very thing they had feared, a force of darkness, of strength, of unyielding will. The pain they caused had shaped you, forged you into something unstoppable. And though the battle was over, the war inside you still raged. But now, you controlled it. Now, you were the master of your fate. As you walked away from the ruins of what once was, the rain began to fall again, washing away the blood, the tears, the remnants of your past. You didn't look back. There was nothing left to look back on. You had been hurt. You had been broken. But now, you were whole again, stronger, darker, more powerful than ever before. They had created a monster, and now, that monster was free.